Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I've had such a good morning, feeling super positive. I've done my morning workout at the gym, and if you have been following me for a while, you'll know that I do some of my best thinking at the gym. I don't know what it is. It's just walking on the treadmill or doing the cross trainer or doing some weights or whatever. Like, I just really find it's very self-reflective, and I just find that I learn a lot about myself in those moments. So it's been a really good start to the day. Like I said, I've been able to fit in my morning workout, and I've just had my Real Nourish protein crumble, which is so good, by the way. And I'm really excited to chat with you on today's podcast episode because I know, from my own experience and my own personal weight loss journey, and also too, if you are new to the podcast, you can go back and listen to a little bit more about my own journey. If you go right back to the very first episode of the podcast, it is my Healthy Her story. So you'll find out a little bit more about me, about how I lost 10 kilos postpartum, about how I've changed my lifestyle. So definitely recommend going back and having a listen to that one if you are wanting a little bit more info about me, and we can get to know each other a little bit better. But today's episode is really an important one because I know that, like I said, from my own journey, that as women, we spend so much time in our own heads feeling like we are the only one that is struggling with certain things when it comes to exercise, when it comes to healthy eating, when it comes to trying to lose weight. And we so often just feel alone. We just spend months, years just feeling alone in these moments when we can't get a hold of our eating, or we can't stop eating after dinner, or we just can't seem to fit in consistent workouts. And we just often feel alone in those moments. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about the 8 weight loss and healthy eating struggles that women face and how to fix them. And I really hope that by the end of this podcast episode that you just realize that you're not alone, because I guarantee you the problems that you are experiencing and the feelings that you are having about diet and food and exercise, there are thousands, millions of women out there that feel exactly the same way as you. So I really hope in this episode that you feel less alone, that you know that all of the struggles that you are having are completely normal, and so many of us women experience these same struggles as well. Okay, so let's jump straight into number 1. And this one, I got to tell you, might confront you a little bit. You might have to really get a little bit honest with yourself. And the first struggle that women face is pretending. So I want you to ask yourself this question: what am I pretending not to know right now? I'll ask it again. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know right now? And like I said, this one might be a little bit confronting because what I have experienced personally, and also from the hundreds of women I've worked with, like my coaching calls and my courses and through the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership, is that we pretend as women. We pretend not to know things right now. So are you pretending? Are your clothes feeling a little tighter? Are your pants not really fitting the way that they used to? Do you not really like the way that you are taking care of yourself, or the way that you are showing up for yourself, and looking after yourself? And I know as women, we spend so much time just pretending. We know that these things are happening. You know that your pants or your jeans don't fit the same way that they used to, that you haven't been consistent with or doing any kind of exercise. You know these things, But we pretend. We know these things are happening, but we pretend that they are not. And we just go, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not happening. It's not happening. Like I can't just fit into my jeans and I can't do the zipper up anymore. No, that's not happening. We just pretend. So number one, you really need to start being honest with yourself. So once you accept it, instead of just pushing it to the side, things become a lot easier, and it is a lot easier then to start making some changes moving forward. So we have this inner voice. There's that inner voice that's going, you know what, Jen? Like, I'm really not liking what I see in the mirror. Like, I'm not showing up for myself very well. I'm putting my family, my work, everyone else first before me. And I feel like rubbish. I'm tired. I lack energy. Like I've just had to buy a bigger size in my clothes and I'm not okay with it. But what we do as women is there's that inner voice and we just pretend that she's not there. We go, well, it doesn't matter. Yep. No, you can see it in the mirror, but you still just go, it doesn't matter. And I'll move on. So number one, we need to stop pretending. And like I said, what are you pretending not to know right now? Because the second that you take accountability and second that you accept what that little inner voice is telling you, you can start to move forward and you can start to go, okay, I'm accepting that this is where I'm at and now I can start making some changes moving forward. So just stop pretending, be honest with yourself, and that is really going to help you start to make some progress and some healthy habit changes moving forward. Okay, number two, the second biggest problem that women face with healthy eating and weight loss is poor time optimization. Now, here's the truth. And I know it's this common argument, that because especially with social media that you get wellness influencers and fitness influencers that are in their 20s and they show up on social media and they're like, oh, well, I did like an AM gym workout and a PM gym workout. And then I did 10,000 steps. And then I spent 2 hours prepping my food. And then I meditated. And then I had an ice bath. And I know for busy women that have careers and families, that is not the reality for us. It's just not. It is not going to happen. So we have to work smarter and not harder, because I know people say, oh, but we've all got the same amount of time in a day. So really going to talk about our poor time optimization as women. So the truth is, right, we've got very little time. Let's be honest. We're juggling a million things. We've got work, we've got careers, we've got families, we've got households, we've got kids' sports, family dinners, kids' birthday parties, all the things. And the unfortunate reality of the truth is majority of that pressure of carrying that mental load comes down to us women. Scales carry that load all the time. So we do have very little time and very little time to ourselves. So I want to go to the gym. Oh, but I don't have the time to do it. And it's a common thing that I hear. Oh, but I want to do this, Jen, but I don't have time. Or I want to start meal prepping on a Sunday, but I don't have time. I want to start working out at the gym, but I can't because of this, or I can't. There's always some blocker, and it's usually a lack of time. But what I've learned is the key is how I used to and use and prioritize my time. So it's really comes down to the way that you look at it. So old Jen would go, okay, an hour of prep or organization on a Sunday. Why would I want to do that? Why would anyone want to give up their Sunday and actually do some meal prepping or put out their gym clothes or get organized for the week or plan their meals? Why would someone want to do that when Sunday is a day of rest and chill or watching Netflix or hanging out on the couch? But you have a mindset shift after a while, and that's what happened to me. And I think this is something that would really help you. So that was the old mindset that I had. But the problem was with that is then on a Monday, I was a mess. I was a chaotic mess because I hadn't meal prepped my breakfast. I didn't know what we were eating for dinner. And I just always started my Mondays feeling off, behind. I just was constantly chasing my tail every moment of every day during the week. And what I found is just by optimizing the time that I have, you actually get a payoff in a different way. So like I said, instead of spending the Sunday on a couch or doing nothing on a Sunday and just chilling out, you've got the time. So you have to decide what is important to you. So for me, it just got down to the point where I'm quite happy to spend an hour on a Sunday because it actually ends up giving me more time during the week. It gives me more time to relax, more time to unwind, more time to spend with my kids, because I'm not constantly chasing my tail. I don't feel stressed and overwhelmed all the time. I'm not always just behind with literally everything, the cooking, the washing, the cleaning, everything. And so optimizing your time in a better way will actually give you payoff later on. It doesn't pay off in that moment. So in that moment on a Sunday when I'm spending an hour doing some prep and organizing a few things, that's not when I get the payoff. It's later on down the track and during the week. And that's when I get the payoff, optimizing my time a lot better on a Sunday. So the truth is, and I know this is really hard to hear. And like I said, I know it's not the same. Like if you're in your 20s and you don't have kids and a career and all these things and you're juggling all these things, I understand that. But you do have time, but it's about optimizing the time that you have. And I think as women too, we get sort of stuck in this hole of like time. So we think time, well, I've got to have 5 hours for this and 6 hours for this. No, it's about optimizing the pockets of time that you have. Like I said, that hour on a Sunday, that's just a little pocket of time that I've utilized to set myself up for the week and to make my week easier. So you do have time, but it's all about finding little pockets of time. So ask yourself, like, is an hour on a Sunday a good use of your time to set yourself up for the week and make you feel less stressed and more organized and have more time in the long run? Just ask yourself, so like, where can you find some time this week? So like if you're every week, you have to go to your kids' soccer practice. And pretty much like there's not a lot to watch. You just kind of go and you're just sort of waiting until the practice is finished. Could you take a planner or a notepad and just jot down your family dinners for the week? Like it's all about working harder, not smarter. And like I said, really trying to find little pockets of time. It might be 10 minutes here. It might be 5 minutes here. It might be 30 minutes here. Start optimizing the time that you have and working smarter. And I promise you will feel so much better for it. You'll feel less stressed. You'll feel more organized and you will just start to own your week instead of your week owning you. Okay, number 3, shiny object syndrome. And I love this one because I'm so guilty of it. And I'm sure that once I start talking about this, you are going to relate to this one 100%. Okay, so picture this. We've stopped pretending. So if we're going back to number 1, you've stopped pretending. You're acknowledging that something's not right with you. You're not comfortable in your skin anymore and something needs to change. So you start making some changes. You start incorporating some daily walks. You're getting out and walking the dog. You've been trying to add more veggies into your meals. You've been trying to drink more water. You're trying to just cut back on all of that extra stuff that you've been like snacking on and eating and all those kind of things. And then you have to go to the shops to pick up something and you run into Lily. And Lily is just doing keto and she's lost 5 kilos. Or you run into a colleague at work and she's just signed up for 75 Hard, or a new 6-week challenge pops up on a Facebook ad. And then you completely ditch what you're doing and what you were working on in the first place. It is called shiny object syndrome. And I truly believe it is something as women that we struggle with so much when it comes to healthy eating and weight loss, because there's honestly a new fad, a new trend, a new diet gimmick that pops up all the time. Like there's constantly something new. And as women, we have shiny object syndrome. So even if we've started making some changes, like I said, the good stuff, going for a walk, increasing our veggies, the things that are actually going to have an impact on you, but we get drawn into this shiny object syndrome and then we ditch and we stop whatever we are doing and we go with what Lily's doing. Or we look at what's happening on the Facebook ad that's a shred or a cut or a 6-week challenge, and we completely stop the things that we were working on in the first place. And look, to be honest, it's not your fault. Like it's not your fault because you've struggled so long with healthy eating and weight loss. So when something comes up that seems like it's going to be quicker and easier and faster and require less effort on your part, you go, great. And you jump ship and you try the keto thing that your friend from work is doing. Or like I said, the different challenge that you've seen. And it's because we keep getting stuck in this shiny object syndrome that we never actually stick with anything, because we're constantly chasing and looking for the next quick fix, the next thing that's going to be quickest, the easiest, the fastest way. And in reality, and this is what I teach in the Hype Gal membership, is weight loss is a slow and steady process. That is the truth. That is the honest truth. And hand on heart, I wish it's probably the number one thing that someone had told me when I tried to lose 10 kilos the first time. It is not a speedy, quick thing. It doesn't happen in 5 minutes. It's slow and steady and it takes time. So really try to stop the shiny object syndrome and always jumping to the next thing. Because the reality is, if you just did the one thing and really honed down on that and focused on that, you would start seeing some lasting changes and results. Number 4, inconsistent efforts. All been there. So guilty of this one. You're all in one week. You track your meals, you go for a walk, you eat your protein. Then something happens. You might get sick, your kids get sick, something comes up at work, you might have a family emergency, and then you do nothing for the next 3 weeks. It's this inconsistent effort that is stopping you from making progress. And something that is really important to learn is that it's consistency. And I know you've heard that word before, and it's like, yeah, Jen, I've heard that, whatever. Like, and I know you go consistency. Okay, I've got to do it. But we mistake consistency with perfection. Okay. And I want to be super clear on this. Being consistent is not eating perfect. Okay. And this is where we struggle with these inconsistent efforts, is because we think, well, if I can't do it all perfectly, if I can't hit my protein, do my steps, drink my water, meditate, do my ice bath, do my journal, do all the things, that it doesn't count. But if you literally just show up in some capacity, in some percentage every single day, but you do it consistently every day, you will get to your end goal. Some days, and this is me included, some days my consistency is 10%. It's a 20-minute walk with the dog because that is all that I can manage on that day. Another day, my effort and my consistency might be around 80%. I might eat pretty well. I might go to the gym. Like, not every day needs to be perfect for you to be consistent. So I really want you to try and shift that mindset around the fact that consistency equals perfection, because it doesn't. Consistency just means showing up and repeating some habits daily in some way every single day. Okay. And if you can do that, everything will click. Okay. Because you'll stop these inconsistent efforts. Like I said, well, you're really great for a week. And I find everyone kind of has their own amount where they can be perfect for. So some people are like 2 or 3 days, some people are a week, some people can even go like 2 weeks where they're like bang on perfect, consistent with everything. And then like everything just falls apart. So everyone has their sort of own consistency amount that they can handle, but no one can eat perfectly all the time. No one eats perfectly all the time. I don't eat perfectly all the time, but really change the way that you look at your efforts and start showing up more consistently.
Hello, my name is Clem and I have lost 10.5 kilos in total, which is so exciting. I am a member of the Healthy Hype Gal membership and I have absolutely loved every minute. I cannot tell you how much this program has changed my life. Jen is amazing. All of the girls in the community are amazing. It is just incredible. And I am so grateful for everything that it has offered.
Number 5, fear of failure. This is so real. Not long ago, I just recorded and posted a masterclass for the Healthy Eating Hype Gal members. That's my community and my signature program. And in there, I just talked about this, the fear of failure, because it is so real. And the reason that we struggle with this fear of failure so much is because we've failed. Like, we have failed. And when I say we, I'm talking about me too. Like, we have failed multiple times at this dieting thing. So the problem is that even before you start something new, your brain is primed and ready for failure. So your brain is already going, Jen, come on. You've done this like 7 times before, and every time you do it for a while and then you quit. You're not consistent, like you can't do this. So even before we've started, our brains are ready and set to fail. So what we need to do to fix this is to start giving our brain signs and signals of success, small, often, and repeatedly. So the way that you can do this is by doing the things that you say you're going to do. And I know that sounds so simple, but just do it. If you say, tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to go for a walk at 6 a.m. before I get ready for work, do it. Keep the promises that you make to yourself, because what happens is you're actually rewiring your brain. So your brain needs to start getting those little signs, those little signals, short little bursts often that says, hey, you know what? Jen can do this. Like, if Jen says she's going to do something, she is going to do that thing. And what it will do is it will start to rewire your brain for success. So instead of your brain going, oh, here's another diet or a healthy eating plan or some reset or challenge thing that she signed up for and she's not going to be able to do it. If you start doing those little things every day, your brain will start getting the message that, hey, you can do this and you can do this. And that fear of failure will start to diminish and it will start to shrink and it will start to feel smaller. And on the flip side of that, what happens is your confidence starts to grow. Okay. Your self-doubt starts to erode. You start to feel like you can do this thing. And the more you do it and the more you show up, the more you're telling your brain that you can do it. And it keeps sending your brain those positive signals. And the reason that our brain needs those signals is because our brain likes evidence. So our brain likes evidence that shows that we can do something. Okay. So it's just reinforcing those habits as being a good and a positive thing. Going for a walk, when you say you're going to do that thing, it's reinforcing that it's a positive habit and a healthy habit and that you should keep going and that you should keep doing it. Number 6, trying to do it all alone. Something that I have found is that weight loss and healthy eating is one of the biggest personal development journeys that you will ever go on. You need people that are on the same path as you, because if you've never struggled with food or weight loss or overeating, if you've never experienced it, it is very hard to relate to it. And I'm just going to be honest, people don't get it. Like if you're someone that's just never struggled with your weight or knowing what to eat or knowing how much to eat, you just don't understand it, and you just don't understand the real internal struggle that you have with food all of the time, and the scales and what to eat and how how much to eat. So it is really important that you get support, that you get in rooms with women that are working on the same goals as you, because they understand where you are at. You feel less alone. You feel supported. And like I said, that was one of my reasons for creating the Healthy Eating Hype Girl membership, because on my journey, I had to do it alone and it's really hard. And people that are your friends and your family, people try and support you and encourage you. But like I said, if you have not struggled with it, it's very hard to relate. It is very hard for people to understand what you're going through, the internal struggles that you're facing, how you're trying to create a new mindset and battle those inner thoughts all the time. So it is really important that you don't do it alone and that you get that support around you. And there is so much research out there now that basically says that if you get in rooms and if you get around people that are working on the goals or have achieved the things that you want, you significantly increase your chances of success. There's so much research about this now. You increase your chances of success just by being around those people, just by being in those rooms. Because what happens is it's lifting your vibe, it's lifting your inner thoughts, it's lifting your self-confidence. Even if you're not achieving those things just yet, just being around those people is going to motivate you, it's going to inspire you, and it's going to push you towards your goals and make achieving your goals and achieving weight loss success so much easier. Number 7, letting your mood run the show. Now, the truth is that, and I've learned this one the hard way over and over again, is you cannot let how you feel dictate if you will look after yourself or not, because I'm telling you, you won't ever look after yourself. So you cannot go, how do I feel today? Do I feel like working out? Do I feel like meal prep? Do I feel like drinking my water? Am I feeling good today? Do I feel motivated? No. You cannot let your mood and how you feel dictate what you do, because I promise you, you just won't do anything. You have to do the things because you know it's better for you in the long run. And something that really helped me is that when it was coming to having to do something like this, whether it was meal prep or working out or all those kind of things, and that's sort of what keeps me going now, is that I put myself in the future version of me. And I ask myself, I'm like, okay, well, if I go and do my workout today, or if I do this meal prep on a Sunday, how is future Jen going to feel? And honestly, that is what keeps me showing up for myself every single time, because I know how good I'm going to feel afterwards. I know how much organized I'm going to feel. I know how much less stressed I'm going to feel. I know how much better I'm going to feel. So it is super, super important that you do not let your mood dictate what you do. You just have to do it. You just do it. So don't ask yourself how you're feeling. If you want to, if you're motivated, because that is just a pathway to disaster. Just get up and do it regardless of how you are feeling and regardless of your mood. And if you can do that, again, that relates back to the previous one we were talking about with our brains. Again, it's sending that message to your brain that you can experience success and that you can do this and that it's a positive thing that you should keep doing. And our last one, number 8, not specific intentions or language. So this is a big one. Now, I know when we talk and the words that we use, we tend to be quite general and not specific enough with our intentions and the language that we use around healthy eating and weight loss. So what I mean by that is this. So we would say things like, oh yeah, like having a coffee with a friend, you're like, yeah, I really want to work out more. Like next month, like when things slow down, I want to work out more. I want to go to the gym and I want to work out more. It's really vague. Like it's a really vague intention and it's probably not going to get your gym shoes on and heading out the door if you're just saying, yeah, I really kind of want to work out more, or like I really just want to eat better, or I really just want to kind of lose some weight. Like these are not specific enough. They are not specific intentions and they are not the language that we want to be using in order to create success. So instead of this vague language of, oh yeah, I just want to work out more, I just kind of want to lose some weight, or I just kind of want to eat a bit healthier, I want you to change that to an intention. Now, I have talked about this a lot before on the podcast, but let's ditch the goals, the big goals, because they're too big, they're too cumbersome. Set intentions instead. So instead of saying, I want to work out more, say, I will go to the gym class at 6 a.m. on Thursday. It is clear, it is specific, and it is actionable, and it is something that you can hold yourself accountable for. If you just say, I want to work out more, like I said, it's not going to get your gym shoes on and get you out the door. If you say to yourself, I will go to the gym class at 6 a.m. on a Thursday. Also too, get a whiteboard, whack it next to your fridge and write that on your fridge. And so you can see it all the time. It is a clear, specific, simple, achievable intention that you can actually do. And like I said, if you do it and then you keep doing it, it's sending that positive information to your brain and that reinforcement that you can do these things. The language that you use matters so much. So when you're super vague, it's easy just to think of other things to do instead. So it's like, oh, I'll just work out, or I might go for a walk. I'll see how I feel later if I want to go to the Pilates class. It's all vague, it's fluffy, and it's not setting that strong intention for yourselves. And like I said to you, our brains are really intelligent things. They're super complicated. And if you can tell your brain that's what you're doing, then you are most likely to go and do that thing. So really, really start to switch up the language that you use, the words that you use, and be really clear on your intention. So like I said, it goes back to that number one. If you've stopped pretending, something needs to change, you want to look and feel better, start setting those intentions for yourself, changing the language and being really clear on the things that you are going to do. Here's something that might be hard to hear. The truth is that the amount of time that you spend thinking about doing something is way more than actually taking the action to do that thing. Like you think about it. You think about how much time you would spend like throughout a week going, oh, I better go to the gym. Okay, I think I'll go tomorrow. No, okay, I think I'll go work out then. I'll go to the gym. The proportion, like the amount of time that you spend wasted thinking about doing the thing compared to the time it actually takes you to go and do the thing, like it's crazy. It is crazy. So let's reduce that. Stop wasting so much time just thinking about doing the thing. Actually just go and do the thing. And you'll find that you'll end up with more time in the long run because you're not wasting all of that thinking time and you're just spending more time in the action zone and actually getting the thing done. I hope you loved today's episode. Like I said, I really just hope that by listening to today's episode that you just feel less alone because all of the things that you are struggling with, we've all struggled with before. And there are so many women that are listening to this podcast alongside of you that have struggled with these things too. So please don't ever feel like you are alone in your struggles. I've given you lots of tips, lots of really simple tips that you can start doing like now, like today, after you finish listening to this episode, to start getting you back on the right. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and I'll see you all in our next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.